All right, family. Oh my goodness, late night with Cassie, huh? Where my people at? This is the absolute latest I have went on in such a long time. I have been trying to do this live all day. Okay, I know y'all in the bed because that's where I should be, but I just got back from. I went to a carnival right tonight, and I tell you, if the niggas wasn't out there fighting and shooting, well, they wasn't shooting, but they was fighting and running. I mean, it's just so crazy. I ain't never.
Why are you laughing? That is not funny.
I'm telling y'all, black folk, we got some issues. I don't care. We are, we just out there. And me and my granddaughter, riding these rides, right? And I'm telling you, this last ride kind of took me out, right? But we see these black folks just running.
She laughing.
Sorry, hand me my phone right. I'm
I'm
so
gonna get off her line.
sorry. Yo, they was just running and they was running and they was just like, like
You're gonna kill nobody here.
what in the world? I'm serious. Y'all black folks got some issues.
I'm gonna get out of here.
These people, they were just running like it was someone on fire. I was like, what are you running to? These folk were just gone. It was gone. Oh Lord, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, y'all. Oh boy. I'm telling you, I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life, right? So, um, we there at the carnival, me and my granddaughter, we standing there, and everybody we just see these people just running, they running, they running, they run. And then all of a sudden,
I don't want to lay on your clothes
okay,
because your other bags are. Want me to show?
I'm on the, hello, no. So yeah, my granddaughter stood talking to me and I'm on live. Okay. Okay. So she said, Grandma, stop laughing at them people. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. I'm just done. I seen the display of mental illness. We on an army base and these fools fighting. How do you go on a government property and start fighting? You mean you would never see these people at Food Lion or Walmart? You got to come on a government property and start fighting. Oh God, I'm sorry. I don't know how I'm gonna do this live tonight because I'm sleepy and I'm just, you know what? I wanted to talk about this young man, but I tell you, it's so much going on right now. And tonight just blew my mind when I seen all these black folk running, right? They was running like it was a fire. They trying to fight. Y'all forgive me. Y'all know me. She didn't bring me no glass. Zaire, bring me a glass, please. Y'all, excuse me. But I'm done. I ain't never seen nothing so crazy in all my life. But let's talk about some things. Let's talk about this our little boy Jordan Neely. Let's talk about him. Did you guys know that his mom died? He saw his mom die when he was 14, and that right there could put anybody in a mental illness state. So that means for about 14, 15 years, this young man has been going through mental health issues. Right? They say his stepdad killed his mom and put her in a suitcase. Okay, did you guys know that? Maybe not, but that's what we're dealing with, right? So he said, they said on the train that he said that he was homeless and he was hungry. My thing is, if you see, and I'm sure it was a lot of black folk on this train. So what was the problem with somebody reaching in their pocket to get his boy $5, $10, $5, whatever you had? Even if you had $2, every little bit helps, right? What was the problem with somebody giving him a meal? They said they seen him out there at some point, at one time doing Michael Jackson shows, doing shows, right? And for him to get, and they talked about his record. Of course, they always try to demonize and dehumanize us. Okay, I am so tired of what I'm seeing, and I hate when I see other black people give them reason to murder us and never feel bad about it, because we don't feel bad about it. I don't care what we go through, we never feel bad about it. Just like I showed the video the other day with the black guy who the police strip searched, stuck their finger up his behind, looking for drugs, didn't find any, and black folk wasn't even concerned about that. When it's us, we don't care. We care more about Becky, Ken, than we do Patrice or Lil Ray Ray. That's the mental illness that black folk are going through right now. We don't care about anybody. If it looks like us, if it looks like me, we don't care. We don't. We don't. I heard black people coming up with a reason why he needed to die. Well, he was on the train and he was being loud. So what? When you get upset until you walk in his shoes, until you're hungry like him, until you're hungry like him, why are you judging? And was that a reason for him to die? Haven't you been hungry before? Was that a reason for him to die because he was loud? He wasn't hurting anybody. And then they turned around and tried to villainize him by saying he was being aggressive toward the passengers. When you say aggressive, what does that mean? I'm going to look up the word aggressive. Let's look up the word aggressive. I want to listen, look at that word aggressive. Hold on, you guys. What's the meaning of aggressive?
Here's the definition of aggressive: ready or likely to attack or confront, characterized by or resulting from aggression.
Ready or likely to attack. That's what the newspaper said, that he was he was acting aggressive toward passengers. It's the wording. Wording, as you get a word salad every day, all the time. The word salad was aggressive. They said he was aggressive, or he seemed like he was aggressive, right? He seemed like he was, and what I'm looking up, the word says ready or likely to attack or confront, okay? But he didn't. He wasn't attacking. He wasn't attacking anybody. Hey, forecast. This is a late one for me, right? This is late. I figured if nobody came, it's okay. I got it out the way because I've been trying to do this live all day, literally. I have been so busy all day, but I knew I'm going to have time tomorrow because I have a not a baby shower, Lord. Ooh, a bridal shower to go to. I guess I'll be going to her baby shower next time. But I had a bridal shower to go to, so I knew I was going to do it tomorrow. And I was really going to put it off till Monday. But you know what? I felt, you know what? I'm not sleepy. I just came from the carnival with my granddaughter and my daughter. And these black folk were out there fighting, right? Oh my God. On the base, army base, right? I've had enough of black folk. I'm serious. It's seen nothing so funny in my life. People running. God, one girl was getting up in the MP's face, telling me she gonna slap somebody. I know, yeah, this is a late one. Yeah, but this is the midnight, this is the midnight live for me, right? But I was talking about um, the young man, Neely, what's the one name? Jordan Neely. I was talking about him and how I heard a lot of black folks talking about he needed to die. I don't care. I'm so tired of every time we come in contact with people that don't look like us, that they think they need to have a right to put their hands on us and to hurt us, right? But the bad part is we allow it. The sad part is we allow them to hurt us. And that's the sad part about it. We allow everything that they're doing, we allow it. But once we get done allowing it and we start doing for self and we start hitting back, I guarantee you they'll stop. But until we get tired and until we start hitting back, they're not going to stop. They're going to keep on killing you. They're going to keep on attacking you in the subway. They're going to keep on putting you in a chokehold. They're going to keep on slashing your throat. Remember maybe about 5 years ago, it was two sisters and they was walking in the New York subway. They got off the train. So I think the same thing. They was on the train. They got off the train and a white man slashed the one sister's throat, right? And she died, right? You remember that? Nobody did anything. Nobody is in the uproar. Nobody is ready to fight. Nobody is mad. Black folk is just not mad enough right now, and we just assume that it's okay. Just like the little boy that who just got decapitated. that Bakari was who was that? Bakari? No, that was you, forecast. I think that was talking about the little baby, who called his mom and was telling his mom, well, if something happened to me, it's the boss, right? I haven't seen the mom handle the boss. I haven't seen the family handle the boss. Why is the boss still alive? That's what I need to understand. If your baby tell you that mom, if something happened to me, go and get the boss, it's the boss's fault. I need to understand why that boss is still walking around. Why is his family member still walking around? I just don't understand the impact of what's going on lately. I don't understand it. It's almost like whatever they do, it doesn't matter. Whoever they do it to, it doesn't matter long as it wasn't me. Seriously. Yes, they're marching. Burn some shit up. I'm serious. Burn some stuff up. What are we sitting up here marching for? When you put it on fire, go in their neighborhoods and set the whole county on fire. I'm just saying I don't condone violence at all. But I do, I tell you all the time, I condone justice. If you coming and you hurt mine, you better believe I'm coming. You better believe it. Plain and simple. My granddaughter didn't bring me a cup when she brought me some water. She didn't bring me a cup, so I had to drink out the bottle. I hate that. But I want to talk a little bit about this Neely, the Neely man, the little Neely. I'll talk about him a little bit. Let me. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to try. Y'all know how I am about to share my screen, the entire screen share. System audio. I remember I used to didn't do this and I didn't know how to do this until forecast showed me. Remember that show forecast? I didn't know what I was doing, did I? Let's see. Let's go over here and show. Let's do this one. And we're gonna share it. Okay. Um let's talk about little Jordan. Let's talk about it. Let's see what I don't want to hear a whole lot about Jordan. I want to talk about really Daniel Perry, the men. Now let's read Daniel Perry, right? This the 5 fast facts you need to know. Okay. Let's see if they're gonna tell us anything about this Daniel character. Okay. They say this is the creep that is that a brother that's holding them down too? Was that a brother helping him? You got to be kidding. You got to be. Hold on, I didn't see that. Is that a brother? Forecast, that's not a brother, is it? Oh my God, I didn't know that was a black man. Is this a black man right there? Okay, I guess. So Daniel Perry has been named by his lawyer as a 24-year-old Marine veteran, right? He's a 24-year-old Marine veteran, right? From West Islip, New York, who is accused of putting Michael Jackson impersonator Jordan Neely in a chokehold, right? Killing Neely on May 1st, 2023 in New York. Now let's see if we're gonna get any facts about him. I bet you I can pull up and get more facts about um, Neely than I would get about the dude that choked him out. What do you bet? What you bet? I'm just saying. I bet you I can get more stuff about him. But let me just come on here. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure. Yeah, I am a pro, huh? Hey, Wild Williams. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all like and share as you come in. But I seen the black dude. Here it is right here. Not the black dude wasn't the one that choked him. Who was that near him? Like, who was the black guy, like right here? Who is this person here? Okay. I see the white dude that choked him out, but looked like a brother's holding him or something. My thing is that brother had no business doing nothing. He should have sat his ass on the side. What is you touching? What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't understand this theory. I don't. So let's continue. Let me see. So let's find out about Daniel Perry. Is that yeah, Daniel Penny. The lawyer gave the statement to ABC7. Penny's name was first reported by Daily Mail after it spread wildly on social media. Daily Mail reported that it had confirmed Penny's identity through a Marine Corps spokesman. He also goes by the name Daniel J. Penny and Danny Penny. Penny is from West Islip, New York, on Long Island, according to public records. I don't hear nothing about. I just hear what they call him. I don't hear. I'm hearing that he lived. Public records said that he lived in New York. Authorities have not named Daniel Penny as the Marine involved in Neely's death. Business Insider also reported that it had confirmed Penny's name with a law enforcement source. Okay, I still don't hear nothing about Penny. A viral video recording the incident, which occurred on the New York subway system, has gone viral. Be forewarned that the video, which you can watch later in this story, is graphic and disturbing. Neely's death has sparked protests and calls for charging from prominent New Yorkers. Representative Alexandria Acosta. I can't believe Cortez said anything about black folk. This woman don't even mention black folk. She has a lot of black people that vote for her, but she never mentions black folk. She mentioned her Mexican. She mentions her Spanish side, but never does she say black and brown. You know, we always say black and brown. She never mentions anything about black people. But so for her to be tweeting this, it must be really bad. So she says Jordan Neely was murdered, but because Jordan was homeless and crying for food. No, because Jordan was black. Let's put it the way it should have been reading. But because Jordan, they always want to alleviate what really happened. But because he was homeless and crying for food in a time when the city is raising rents and stripping services to militarize itself, while many empowered demonize the poor, the murderer gets protected with passive headlines and no charges. It's disgusting. Yes, it's freaking disgusting because you know if he was black and there was a white dude that he just choked out, would he be out free? See, this is what I'm saying, y'all. Until we take matters into our own hands, and I do believe that we have the right when people like this. He's a vigilante. That's what he's called, a vigilante who took matters into his own hands. They said that dude was just, he was yelling that, hey, I'm hungry and I'm homeless, and he was hungry and he was just. I mean, that would affect anybody, right? But you mean to tell me that I can't get any help? I can't even say anything. I can't tell people that I'm hungry. I can't say anything. Else I'm gonna get choked out, especially if I say it too loud. Really? I'm on here minding my business, and I'm trying to get some food, and I'm trying to get me a room maybe tonight. Hey, can anybody rent me a room? Can anybody let me sleep on their floor? But this is America. America's going down, y'all. I don't care what nobody said. America's going down fast. So let's go ahead and finish seeing what let's finish getting the details about this Daniel person, okay? New York Mayor Eric Adams, a former police officer. That speaks volumes to me. When you tell me that the mayor was a former police officer, we already know who backed him. We already know how he got in there. And the governor, I think, said something too that wasn't too much about this dude. It was a dog whistle for white folk that it's okay to kill niggas. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all can sit there if you want to. If you ain't got your guns by now, your candy bars and your bullets and your candy bars and your what you call the peanuts, you can sit there if you want to and act a fool if you want to, because there's more to come. They always doing stuff and we never see anything, but they always dog whistling and we act like we don't hear them. You act like it's not a big deal. Nobody says anything when they dog whistle against you, right? But say something about them. hmm. Come on, let's keep going. Okay. New York mayor, okay, told CNN it's ongoing, still ongoing. He said, our hearts go out to the family, calling it a terrible incident. No, it's murder. Let's call it what it is, murder. Now it's in the hands of the investigators. So what? What are they gonna do? Adam said, saying there were so many unknowns. It doesn't matter. The man is dead. What the hell is an unknown when you already have the body laying on the ground? So what's the unknown? The Marines choked him. Did he hit the Marine? Did he touch the Marine? Did he say anything to the Marine? Did he, it doesn't matter. I don't care what happened. That dude should not be dead. The Marine had no business choking him out. The Marine had no business putting his hands on him. I don't care if he was walking there shouting to the top of his lungs. It didn't matter. He wasn't a threat to anybody. He had nothing in his hands. So you mean to tell me if I raise my voice, I could become a threat to somebody because I'm yelling, I'm hungry. I'm yelling, I'm hungry and I'm homeless. So I get to die because I'm yelling, I'm hungry and I'm homeless. So anybody could just come up here and choke me out. Bakari. Welcome, Bakari. I knew this is the late one for y'all, but I figured y'all was still up. Y'all like to stay up during the week all time, all time tonight. Welcome, y'all. So Penny's law firm, okay, Penny's law firm, Razor and Kenneth PC issued a statement on his behalf. Now, this was supposed to tell us about Daniel. I haven't heard any descriptions of Daniel. I haven't heard about Daniel's mama. I haven't heard anything about Daniel's brother. I haven't heard anything about Daniel's father. Haven't heard anything about Daniel's record. Haven't heard anything about how him being in the kindergarten. He killed the little roach on the street. Haven't heard about how he smacked his mama. Haven't heard about his mama being on drugs. Haven't heard about his daddy raping his mama. Or the daddy beat the sister. Haven't heard about the dog he killed or the cat he killed or the little sister he raped. I haven't heard anything about Daniel. Like I would, I'm going to read something about Jordan Neely, and you're gonna come up with all this stuff on Jordan Neely's who's dead, right? But we're gonna hear about his past. But I don't see anything about Daniel's yet. Okay, but let's keep listening. Maybe I missed something. Okay, so when Mr. Neely began, oh, hold on. Now I thought this was supposed to be about Daniel. How are we now getting ready to talk about Mr. Neely? Tell me that. I thought this, okay, let me read. Hold on, y'all. I must have missed it. Okay, maybe I missed the headline. What the headline say? Hold on. What the headline say? Okay, Daniel Penny, 5 fast facts you need to know. I haven't heard one. Have we heard any? I haven't heard one. But hold on, let me see. Maybe I missed something. Okay. Maybe I missed something. When Mr. Neely, we're still talking about Mr. Neely. We're not talking about Daniel. I thought we were supposed to be talking about Daniel. Okay. Mr. Neely began. Listen to this. Listen to the word salad here. You have to be aware of the words they're getting ready to use against our brother who was on the train telling people, I'm hungry, I'm homeless, and you died because you raised your voice. You yelled a little too loud on the train. You yelled a little too loud. Listen to this. He said, when Mr. Neely began aggressively threatening Daniel. How am I aggressively? Did I hit Daniel? Did he hit Daniel? No. Was he talking to Daniel? Probably not. Because Daniel came from behind him. So that means his back was turned toward Daniel, right? Right? But they gonna try to make it seem like it's Jordan's fault. Because they said when Mr. Neely began aggressively threatening Daniel Penny, you hear the word silence? And the other passengers. But if I'm threatening Daniel, I'm going to be face to face with Daniel, right? But it said Daniel caught him from behind, right? So how was he aggressive toward Daniel when he wasn't even facing Daniel? I'm trying not to yell. It's late, y'all. I'm trying not to yell. Let me get trying to calm down because I don't want to get too aggressive. I don't want to be too aggressive. Okay. Because anytime black folk raise their voice, they're aggressive. Okay. So when Mr. Neely began aggressively threatening Daniel Penny and the other passengers, because he was yelling too loud that I was hungry. He was yelling too loud that he was homeless. He was yelling too loud that his stomach was empty. He was yelling a little too loud that he didn't have a place to sleep that night. So Daniel out the blue decides, I'm gonna kill this threat. I'm gonna murder the threat. I'm gonna take you out your misery because you're hungry. I'm gonna take you out of your misery because you ain't got a place to live. and you just talking a little too loud because I have PSTD because it came from the Marines, and you know they're crazy as hell anyway. So I'm gonna choke you out because you bothering me. You talking a little too loud today because I don't really care if you homeless, and I don't really care if you ain't got anything to eat and you just talking too loud. So we're gonna read that again. When Mr. Neely began aggressively threatening Daniel, who was behind him, and the other passengers who was probably sitting around him, Daniel, with the help of others, acted to protect themselves. What was you protecting yourself from? If I'm telling you I'm freaking hungry, if I'm telling you that I don't have a place to sleep tonight, what are you protecting yourself from? Shouldn't I need the protection? Because I'm getting ready to die because I'm hungry and I don't have a place to live. And it's probably cold tonight in New York. So they said, with the help of others, acted to protect themselves from Jordan Neely. Come on. Until help arrived. But you choked this boy. You was choking him. So you choking him until help arrived? Really? The statement said. Now, this is a statement coming from his attorney. His attorney. Daniel never intended to harm him. Then why the hell did you put your hands on him? You shouldn't have touched him. You shouldn't have touched him because you know you're a Marine. You know you were trained to kill. So how are you going to sit up there and tell me or tell anybody that you didn't mean to kill this boy when you are a trained killer from the Marine? Aren't they in the chat? Are they Marines? Aren't the Army trained to kill? So how can you tell me he didn't mean to put his hands, he didn't mean to kill this boy when he put his hands on him because he knows his hands are deadly weapons, right? Come on, you ain't talking to no dummy now. You ain't gonna tell me what he didn't mean to do. Because I know you've been trained in the Marine, you've been trained to kill folk. So you knew when you touched him that you was getting ready to cause bodily harm. But now you killed him. Now I got to clean this up a little bit. No, you ass is going to jail. And if he don't go to jail in New York, y'all better handle your business. That's all I'm gonna say. Daniel never intended to harm Mr. Neely and could not have foreseen his untimely death. I don't know who they think they talking to. The statement continued. We hope that out of this awful tragedy will come a new commitment by our elected officials to address the mental health issues crisis on our streets. Did you hear what he said? We hope that out of this awful tragedy will come a new commitment to our elected officials. Now, you're going to blame it on being homeless. You're going to blame it on mental health. And now he's trying to talk about the crisis on our streets and subways. So what that got to do with the statement? I'm still waiting to hear something about Daniel. Okay. Heavy has reached out to the lawyers for additional details, whoever Heavy is. I guess that's the news person. Here's what you need to know. Oh, wow. After all that, now I'm going to hear something about Daniel, maybe. Okay, let's see. The Manhattan District Attorney. Now, y'all need to get this district attorney. His name is Daniel Penny. Y'all remember that name because I need to know when Daniel Penny is up for re-election. I'm going to ask that. Hold on, y'all. When is Daniel Penny up for re-election, the New York District Attorney? Hold on. When is Daniel Penny up for re-election? Oh shoot, I'm talking about the. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I admit I messed up. Hold on, that's not the DA. Hold on. The DA is. Hold on. Alvin Braggs. Okay, here we go. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Alvin Braggs. When is he up for re-election? The DA of New York. Let's see. Wow. He's the black DA. He's a black DA, right? But you know what? Everybody that look like us ain't our kinfolk, right? Okay. I think he just got in there. Don't they do like 2 terms? I think they do 2 terms. I think he just got in there. He's a black DA. Here he is. He's a black DA. Can y'all see him? I hope y'all can. He's a black DA, right? First black DA. I can't tell if y'all can see it or not. I hope you guys can see it. Hmm. All right. Manhattan DA leading historic criminal case against. Okay. Oh, he's leading the case against Trump. Ain't that something? Boy, I tell you, everybody look like the show ain't trying to help us, is they? Okay, so we understand. I think he, if I'm not mistaken, I think he just got in office. I think. I'm not sure, you guys. I was trying to see when he's supposed to be reelected. Okay, well, anyway, I think he just got in there, if I'm not mistaken. Shows several big leading. He just got in there in 2021. So I think he should be up for reelection, right? If they do 2 years, I'm not sure. I think they do 2 years, might be four. I'm not sure. But you guys need to keep that name. If he don't do something with this white dude, which he probably won't, because we always try to we always trying to defend or deflect or not trying to hurt white folk feelings. So we'll go against our own to please white folks. So we already know what's happening. We already know what's going on, right? So let's talk about the Mississippi District Attorney um, says that the officer is assessing video footage and medical records before deciding whether to issue criminal charges against Daniel Penny. Why is it that we have to do that? Tell me why. If Daniel, if Jordan was in front, standing with his back toward Daniel, so Daniel's back here, and Daniel grabs him from behind, he wasn't even a threat to Daniel because Daniel was had his back. He had his back to Daniel, right? So how was he threatening him for one? If you think you talking to a bunch of dummies, but you ain't talking to a bunch of dummies, okay? So why do you need to assess videos? He's dead. Jordan is dead. Daniel choked him to death. All you have to do is go get charges. Then you can do all your leg work and do all of what you need to do and put charges on him and then add more charges later. Period. Because I'm guaranteeing you, if the shoe was on the other foot, Jordan would be in jail right now for killing Daniel, right? So why black folk hate the same treatment? Why is it we have to go around the bush 30 days, 90 days, 100 days, 120 days? Because remember the white guy that killed a 14-year-old and they let him out of jail, and that dude was out of jail. He was out of jail for like 3 to 4 months, right? Then they finally arrested him. But I ain't heard no more about that case. Have you guys heard any more about that case? I haven't either. But this is what I'm saying. The cases go away. Excuse me. The cases go away. They get swept under the carpet and then they end up getting released, right? Okay, we need to keep up with these cases, especially the one with the 14-year-old young man that got shot, and the guy shot him in the back, got out the truck, shot him in the back, got in the truck, and went on about his business, and then the police let him go because he said it was self-defense. Come to find out, the little boy, what's self-defense when you don't even have a gun? What, your self-defense because he's black? Come on, you guys. I'm so tired of this stupidity. It makes me so mad. So you have the Manhattan District Attorney says the office is assessing the video footage and medical records before deciding whether to issue criminal charges against Daniel Penny. He should have been in jail right now. When he got up off the floor from choking that boy out and you knew that boy was dead, he should have went to jail right then and there. We're going to investigate it, but right now we're going to put manslaughter charges on him, and we need to upgrade it to murder. Once we do our little whatever, then we're going to do that. But he's going to jail right now. Seriously, this don't make no sense. A Manhattan bartender who was once inspired by Don Orexo to travel through South America with a backpack. I don't care nothing about them. I don't care nothing about him. Seriously. Okay. So let's see. The Manhattan District Attorney Office is investigating Neely's death. Okay. These things on my thing. I cannot. I cannot them. Solemn and serious matter that ended in the tragic loss of Jordan Neely's life. Why? As part of our rigorous, they started lying now. Ongoing investigation, the medical examiner's report. So now all of a sudden, black folk go to jail immediately. White folk get to stay and get their stuff in order because the medical report usually don't come back for 3 months. You know that, right? So if this dude has 3 months, it's the same thing that they did with the white guy that shot the black boy. He was out and living his life, living with his family, right? And the boy's family, he dead. He out and about doing with his little thing, right? So that autopsies usually take 3 months to come back, right? Okay. So we will review the medical examiner's report, assess all available video. Why you can't just assess the video right now or after he's in jail, and photo footages, identify and interview as many witnesses as possible, like about what the witnesses have to say, and obtain additional medical records. Whose medical records are they obtaining? Why do you need anybody's medical records who's laying on the ground dead? Okay. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Braggs said in a statement emailed by Hardy. Okay. This investigation. Now I'm still not understand hearing nothing about Daniel, right? I'm not hearing about his mama. I'm not hearing anything about his past, not hearing anything about his record, not hearing anything about his stay in the military. Why is he still in the military? Not hearing anything about Daniel, right? Okay, let's continue. Maybe they're gonna eventually tell us something because we're supposed to wait for 5 points talking about Daniel. I'm not hearing anything yet. But let me just keep going. Maybe it's gonna happen eventually. Okay. So this investigation is being handled by senior experienced prosecutors, and we will provide an update when there are additional public information to share. The Manhattan DA's office, encourages anyone who witnessed or has information about the incident to call 212 355 no 335 9040. Maybe we need to call and ask him. I wonder if I can call right now and ask them, why haven't you arrested Daniel? That's what I need to know. That's the only thing I need to know, Mr. District Attorney. The phone number again is 212 335 9040. We need to call Daniel and find out why no, we need to call Alvin. I keep calling the boy Daniel. We need to call Alvin, who's the district attorney, and find out why Daniel has not been arrested yet. The statement does not give Penny's name. However, why does the statement not give Penny's name? Okay. According to a profile on Harry.com in Daniel Penny's name, he worked. Oh, wow. We're going to get something finally at the end of the whole story. Okay. We're going to see how much they're going to give us. We're going to give us his whole past or just a little snippet. Okay, let's see. He was a sales associate for Surf Shop. Surf. Okay. As an infantry squad leader and instructor of water survival in the U.S. Marine Corps, and at a local burger restaurant. In that post, he wrote that he was an adventurous, charismatic, authentic. Okay, come on, let's see. That's it. Whatever. That's it. That's all we get. Growing up here in New York, I've always been inspired by the ambitions and grit, he wrote. After high school and unsure of my future, I enlisted in the Marine Corps in the search of adventure. Well, you got adventure. You just killed a man, so that makes you a murderer. So that's adventurous, huh? Okay. While serving as squad leader for 2 deployments, I began to realize what I was passionate about. What are you passionate about besides killing black people? Okay. I love helping, communicating, and connecting to different people from all over the world. After the military, I enrolled in college. Isn't that so sweet? Isn't that so sweet? If he was black, you'd think we'd have been hearing, reading any of this. We'd have been hearing about his mama. We'd have been hearing about second grade, he dug his butt. In the third grade, he killed a bird. In the fourth grade, he dug his nose. And in the fifth grade, he pulled a little white girl's hair. I'm just saying, right? That's usually how it is. We always get vilified, right? We always get demonized. We always become dehumanized, right? Okay, well, let's keep on. This is really super cute. He's the perfect Marine guy. Come on, he's the perfect white boy. Come on. Okay, let's keep reading. Okay. Okay, this is really cute here. And connecting to different people from all over the world. After the military, I enrolled in college but felt completely unfulfilled. I decided to drop out of school, so he's a quitter, and backpack throughout Central America. After this decision was inspired by the novel Don Quinco. Don Quinco, also inspired by adventure, he leaves his normal life to pursue his dreams despite being called a madman. Oh, wow. Okay, that might be something. During the travels, rediscovered my love for interacting and connecting with people. I believe that bartendering, oh, he's a bartender in Manhattan, the place I've always referred to as the center of the world, would be an extremely fulfilling position. He's bartendering. Okay. Okay. Being able to serve drinks to everybody, right? And to break up bar fights and put people in chokeholds. Okay. I'm just saying. I just rediscovered my love for interacting and connecting with people. I believe that bartending in Manhattan, the place I've always referred to as the center of the world, would be an extremely fulfilling position. Me bartending is just the job of a lifetime. Being able to serve and connect with the most interesting and eccentric the world has to offer is what I believe I am meant to do. His calling was to be a bartender. You can't, you can't make this up, you guys. I'm sorry. Y'all can't make this up. Come on, help me out here. Okay. Number two, Daniel J. Penny is a former Marine who received 7 medals. Oh, wow. We're going to talk about the medals now. Wow. Let's talk about the medals. So he had a really super cool model life. He had nothing going on in his past. His mama wasn't an alcoholic. His daddy wasn't a drug dealer, or his daddy wasn't in jail. Come on, let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Okay, he received several. Who received 7 medals and was a sergeant at Camp Lejeune. Report says. Okay, okay, come on. Let's see what else we can come up with. Okay, according to Daily Mail, Penny served as the 1st Battalion, 2nd Marine Division as a sergeant in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, but left the service in June 2021. He had served 4 years and was the recipient of 7 medals. Oh, wow, that must have meant a lot to his mama, huh? Okay, but he's still a murderer. I don't care how many medals he got, he's still a murderer. You choked a dude out on the subway who was telling you that he was hungry and he was homeless, and you choked him out because he was talking a little too loud, probably because you got PTSD. That's probably what the issue was. Okay? Come on, you guys. Daily Mail reported that Penny was deployed between December 17 and July 19 in the 2nd Marine extra expeditionary unit across the Mediterranean. Other news outlets also reported that the man in the video was a former Marine who is the age of Penny. Okay, according to the CBS News, the man who put Neely in a chokehold is the 24-year-old Marine vet. I'm not hearing anything about his past, right? Okay, CBS reports that the man was taken into custody but released without criminal charges. ABC 7 reported that as the 24-year-old man restrained Neely, he asked fellow passengers to call 911. According to the police, ABC 7 described Neely as harassing other subway riders. Harassing means what? We already know what harassing means, okay? Andre Zachary Neely's father told the New York Daily News that Neely was interested in Michael Jackson since he was 4 years old. He was never the same after his mother was murdered in 2007, right? Here we go. We talking about who? Are we talking about Daniel or are we talking about Neely? Which one are we talking about? This was supposed to be 5 points about Neely, right? We don't hear anything about his past. We just hear about his army. He was an army vet. He knew how to kill. He knew he was trained to kill. So he had no business touching anybody because you were trained to take lives, right? I don't care how many awards you had. You were trained to kill. So why were you touching him? Why did you put him in the chokehold? He wasn't doing anything to you. You came from the back, from what I understand. You came from his back, so you had no business touching him. Period. Okay. So let's continue on. Let's continue on. Number three, the freelance journal who recorded the video, viral video, say he believes the man name was dead. Daniel Perry was trying to help. How was he trying to help when you had this dude on the floor and you had a chokehold? So how the hell are you trying to help? What were you trying to help do? I'm not even going to watch it because I don't want to watch it. Juan Alberto Vasquez, a freelance journalist, posted the video, which he recorded on his Facebook page. Lucas, whoever, he also posted a detailed account of what he saw, writing that, oh God, Neely yelled, "I don't have food. I don't have to drink. I'm fed up. I don't mind going to jail and getting life in prison. I'm ready to die." Wow, that's what he said. Okay. In the video, the man identified. Okay, so I guess Daniel was giving him his wish, right? So he said, "Okay, you want to die? Let me help you." Right? So what did he do? He put him in the chokehold. Okay, let's continue. In the video, the man identified as Daily Mail as Daniel Penny holds Neely in a chokehold while holding a chokehold while another man holds his arms and other people stand around watching. At some point in the video, Neely moves his leg. Another man eventually confronts the man and says things like, "Once he defecates, you have to let him go." What does that mean? According to Vasquez's Facebook post, Neely yelled as he removed his robe and aggressively whipped it to the floor of the wagon. Vasquez wrote that although so far the disturbed did not seem to want to attack anyone, a young man with brown hair and gray shawl grabbed him by the neck and laid him on the floor as he tied him with his legs. They were in the position for about 15 minutes while other passengers and the train operator called the police. As heard in the video, the uniforms BTW never arrived. According to Vasquez, other Samaritans stepped in to aid the warrior. What aid did he need? He had the man in the damn chokehold. What else aid did he need? He had his feet around his waist. He had him in the chokehold. He was probably dying. So what aid did he need? Okay. Other Samaritans stepped in to aid the warrior. The warrior. They called a murder. This is the thing about America. You called a pedophile Christopher Columbus. You called him a hero. Now you got a murder. You call a warrior and prevent the others from escaping. The other from escaping. One of them, who had recently tackled with a woman, seemed to meditate between the two fighting on the floor. He said that he had to be somewhere in Yonkers. So when they released the captive, already unarmed, I left the scene and stopped filming. At the end, you can see how the aggressive. Listen to this. How the which one is the aggressive? The one that's choking him, or the one that's not moving and he's dead? So you call him the one that's dead, that got choked to death, the aggressor, well, you call him the Marine the aggressor one that had him in the chokehold. Which one? Let's find out. Let's see. At the end, you can see how the aggressive man stands idle after the tenacity of his neck in the consequence that reminded me of George Floyd. It's possible that he died in those moments. It was a very tense situation because you don't know what he's going to do afterwards. Vasquez told the news New York Times. He told the Times he told the Times of the Marine, "I am confused now because I'm not sure how to think about what the young man did. He was trying to help." He said that at the time, no one thought Neely 30 might die. None of us were thinking that he told the Times he was moving and he was defending himself. How are you defending yourself when you have somebody in a chokehold? How is he defending himself? Is he fighting to breathe or is he fighting to be free? How is he defending himself? The police source told the Daily News that witnesses say saw Neely pacing back and forth and acting erratic as if he was about to turn violent. But did he turn violent? Because you're yelling, "I'm hungry," and because you're telling people that I don't have anywhere to sleep tonight, am I violent because I'm yelling? Did I hit anybody? Did I hurt anybody? Did I bodily harm anybody? Or was I just loud? So people said, "Oh, he acted like he was going to do something," or "I thought he was going to do something," but did he? Did the answer I want to hear? Did he? Did he do anything to anybody before you thought it was okay to put him in a chokehold? Did he hurt anybody? Did, raising your voice, does that mean that you're going to do something? Does that really mean that you're going to do something? Okay, let's go. Now they're coming up with excuses. Okay, I'm gonna villainize him because I know he's dead, and I got to say something to keep us from charging Mr. Man over here, Mr. Marine guy. Okay, so let's go ahead. So they said that he was pacing back and forth and acting erratic, as if he was about to turn violent. Word salads. This is word salads right here. Okay, I got to make him look as guilty as possible because all he was doing was standing up on the train yelling that he was hungry and I'm homeless. So he died for yelling. He didn't die for beating up anybody. He didn't die for touching anybody. He didn't die for doing anything to anybody. He died because he was too loud, because he was yelling too loud on the train. You're a little too loud, bro. I'm going to need you to quiet down or I'm going to have to choke you half to death. I know I'm going to choke you to death if you don't be quiet. It ain't all half choking. He choked him to death. So let's get the other good stuff about Daniel Penny, the Marine, the murderer. But we gonna act like he's the hero here. Let's talk about the hero. Let's get the real hero. Let's talk about the hero here. Well, this is crazy. So number 4, we still waiting on stuff about Daniel, right? We still waiting on his mama. I want to hear about his mama. I want to hear about his daddy. I want to hear about his childhood. I want to hear about his sisters. I want to hear about. I want to hear about the records he had. I want to hear how not just him being the hero. I want to hear what you would do. Let's tell to me as if he was black. Tell me what you would tell me if it was Jordan. Tell me what would he tell me? Talk to me the same way. Use the same language that you would use if this boy was black. Okay, come on now. Let's see. For number 4, Daniel Penny was given an MVP as a high school lacrosse player. We don't hear nothing negative, do we? Do we hear anything negative about this dude? So he was perfect, huh? Well, you see how the difference they do with black folk and white folk? You see the difference? Okay. And the 13th photo shows Daniel Penny receiving an award from Barbara, whoever, who is described as the captain as the descendant of Sergeant Major Daniel Daly. Okay. Still not hearing nothing. The photo caption said she was given the MVP award to Daniel Penny of West ISUP High School after the second annual Dan. Boy, I tell you, I cannot even stomach this anymore. I cannot stomach you trying to portray a murderer as a hero. I cannot stomach this country. I am so sick of this country. I'm so sick of this country. I don't know what to I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm so sick of America. I hope they burn this. I hope and pray. I don't care. Y'all better get out because I'm praying some real crazy prayers for America right now. I'm gonna tell y'all we better get out because my prayers right now for America, it ain't good. Ain't nothing good about my prayers for America. I'm just saying. And these crackers up in here, they gonna get it. They gonna get it. And I hope they can handle it. I hope they can handle it. I cannot stand how you villainize a dude that was standing up there telling you he hungry and he was homeless. He wanted a meal. You sat up there. You had a dude that thought it was okay to kill him, choke him out, and you making this dude out of a freaking hero. I cannot with this. Y'all, I cannot with this. I cannot. I cannot. If he was black, is this how they will portray? I'm gonna read Neely's in a minute, and let's see the we gonna see the difference. We're gonna see the difference and how they portrayed Neely and how they portrayed. Okay, we're gonna get to there. We're gonna get to. I'm gonna try to get through this. I'm gonna try to get through this. The MVP award to Daniel Penny of West ISOP High School after the second annual Dandelion, whatever, team velour. The team virtue are made up of the top lacrosse players in Long Island competing to win in honor of two-time medal to honor recipient Sergeant whatever. Neely's death came as a concern about crime in New York City and on the subways system has grown in recent years. Neely's death comes as a concern. It should come as a concern. For one, because he was on a train telling people he was hungry and homeless and he got murdered. That should be the concern of America. That should be the concern right there. For example, in one previous incident, 10 people were shot during an I thought this was supposed to be about Daniel. But here we go. We're talking about everything else but Daniel, right? Okay, let's keep on. 10 people were shot during an active shooter incident in the Brooklyn subway, according to uh, Axios. In October 22nd, Michelle Go died after being shoved on the subway tracks, according to the New York Times. However, the New York Times reported that the major crime in the subway system dropped 16% from October 22nd through January 23rd. What does this have to do with Daniel? What does any of this have to do with Daniel? We're supposed to talk about the 5 facts of Daniel. What does this have to do with Daniel? Reverend Al Sharp, you know the coon, okay? The founder and president of the National Action Network, said in a news release was the reported was the reported homeless man who experienced a mental health episode on the subway. That's the key is right here is we are not allowed to have issues. His mom, he saw his mom die when he was 14. Stepdaddy killed his mom, stuffed her in a suitcase, and we're gonna get to that. But he's not allowed to have a mental health day, right? That boy was 14 when he saw his mom die. What do you think you would be like if you had saw your mom die at 14 and your stepdad killed her? And now you got to what? You in the house with this dude, you just saw him kill your mama. That's trauma right there. But let's go on. Let's go on. According to Shopton's video shows a passenger put Neely 30 into a chokehold on an F train Monday until he lost consciousness. Neely who was a well known Michael Jackson impersonator on the subway and in Times Square, later died at Knox Hill Hospital. No, he didn't. He died on that freaking train. You want to tell me that he didn't die on that train? That dude died on that train because the dude, the reporter, just told you so. He told you he thought he died on that plane, on that train. The passenger was also taken into custody by police, but released Monday night without charges. Without charges. The National Action Network demands the district attorney and police investigation this horrific incident as a potential case of manslaughter, if not murder. Sharpton said in the release 30 years ago. Oh, God, here we go. Who cares about 30 years ago, really? Who cares about 30 years ago? What did you do, Al Sharpton, 30 years ago? What about yesterday? What about police brutality been happening since what? Since slavery, right? Since the 70s, right? What did you do 30 years ago? Let's hear about what Al did 30 years ago. Okay, let's hear about what Al did 30 years ago. Like we really care. 30 years ago, I fought the Bernard Ghetto case. And we cannot end up back place where vigilance is tolerable. It wasn't acceptable then, and it cannot be acceptable now. We hope the family of Jordan Neely will come forward so NAA can ensure he is funeralized properly and decently. According to Botanican, Giotto was an American village vigilante who rose to national fame when he shot four African American males on a New York City subway train on December 22nd, 1984. He was convicted only of criminal possession of a handgun. After arguing self defense, Britannica reported, compelled Brad Lander tweeted, New York is not Gotham. We must not become a city where mentally ill human beings can be choked to death by a vigilante without consequences, or whether the killer is justified and clear and cheered. Number five. Now that didn't have nothing. Number four didn't have nothing to do with Daniel, did it? We on five already. They said I'm gonna give you five fast facts. We're on five fast facts. Nothing was about Daniel. I'm just saying, nothing was about Daniel, right? Jay Smooth, welcome, welcome. Like and share as you guys come in. Okay, this is crazy. So we're number five. Let's see what number five. Jordan Neely died from compression of neck. The medical examiner ruled. Oh wow, you got a thing already. This is Michael Jackson right there. There he is performing right there. Okay. The New York City Officer of Chief Medical Examiner told CBS News that Neely's cause of death was determined to be compression of neck or a chokehold. According to the CBS News, the death was ruled a homicide by the medical examiner. Go arrest him. Why is he still out? Tell me. However, a medical examiner determines that homicide is not a determination of criminal homicide. What the hell is he? What are we talking about? What here? Now we getting with the word salads here again. Here we go again. Homicide does not mean homicide. Homicide. Okay. Let me try to understand this puzzle here because this is a puzzle right now. Neely's cause of death was determined to be compression of the neck. Okay, let's just clear. That means he was choked to death, right? So who choked him? Go get him. What's the problem? I'm not understanding this word salad here. Or chokehold, okay? According to the news, the death was ruled a homicide by the medical examiner, right? However, a medical examiner's determination of homicide is not a determination of criminal homicide. What the hell are you talking about? Heavy has reached out to the office of the medical examiner for an additional details. What are you we talking about? Homicide don't mean homicide, but homicide means, according to the New York police, New York Daily News, Neely was arrested. Here we go. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. I thought we was talking about Daniel. How are we at Neely now? I thought we was talking about Daniel. We didn't went from Daniel to Neely. We done talking about Daniel. Because we done already told you he was a Marine. We told you he was a hero. We told you he had seven awards. We told you he got an award in high school. We done talking about Daniel. We're not gonna say nothing about Daniel. Now we're gonna talk about Neely. We're gonna tell you that he had 42 arrests. I don't give a damn. He's dead. I don't care if he had 120. How many white boys have? Okay. How many white boys? How many did this white boy have? Let's really go into his past. Let's really go into his past. Neely was arrested 42 times in the past 10 years. I don't give a damn how many times he was arrested. You being on the train, you telling somebody I'm hungry, you telling somebody that I'm homeless does not deem that you die. I don't give a date gone if he was arrested 120 times. I don't care. The boy went through a trauma at age 14. Let's talk about that. I don't care he was arrested 42 times in the past 10 years by the New York Police Department and had a documented mental health issue with the police. Okay, if you knew that, then why again we talking about this? Why was it not being dealt with, or why did he have to die? You already knew he had an issue, right? Why did it deem him having to die? Even though you want to tell me that he was arrested, he was 42 times in the last 10 years, did it deem him dying? Does it mean that you have to die? No. He was the most recent arrested. His most now we talking. I thought we was talking about Daniel. We still on Neely. How did we get on Neely? We weren't talking about Neely. He was he was most recently arrested in November 2021. Now we're gonna talk about Neely, y'all. We're not even talking about Daniel no more. We're not talking about Daniel. Daniel, you're a perfect person. You have no issues in life. You okay? You're just a murderer. But we're not gonna talk about you murdering anybody. We're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna still call you the hero. Okay? Let's talk about this. Let's demonize Daniel. Let's demonize Neely now. So Neely on November 21st, 2021, on felony assault charges, okay, after being accused of slugging a 67-year-old female passenger in the face. Daily News reported, adding that a warrant was issued in that case. What the hell do we care about that? This dude is dead. He didn't punch the Marine in the face, did he? He didn't touch the Marine. He only said he was hungry and he was homeless. So now you want to bring all this other stuff up. It still does not warrant him dying, period. New York Post reported that Neely's mother, here we go. Neely's mother was murdered by his stepfather in 2007, sinking him into a deep depression. Well, what the hell do you think it should have did? He was 14 years old. Lose your mother at 14 and let me see you not be depressed. Let me see you have the perfect life. The police reported ran across him over the years. The past the past reported that Neely threatened a train conductor and scared passengers. In one incident, was taken to the hospital and sheltered in other instances, asked for psychiatric help because he was hearing voices years ago, and mentioned that he was schizophrenia and had ADHD and sometimes suicidal. Okay. Okay. Don't you see the difference? When we talk about black folk and when we talk about white folk, we hear nothing about the white boy's medical history. We didn't hear anything about his discharge. We didn't hear anything about his past. We heard about his past, but everything was about him receiving awards, right? So he was perfect. That's what you're trying to tell me. He was perfect. They didn't tell you he was a murderer, did they? Okay. According to the Post, one incident, Neely was accused of punching a 60. Okay, didn't we just talk about that? breaking her nose and fracturing her orbital bones. He was incarcerated at Rikers Island until February 9th, 2023 for second degree assault, and there was a warrant issued for his arrest on February 23rd, okay, according to the Post, which said Neely was once accused of threatening to kill his grandfather. I thought this was supposed to be about Daniel. What happened? Where did he go? So you mean to tell me they couldn't wait to put Neely stuff in there, right? They couldn't wait to tell you something about Neely. Let me bring out the most negative part that I can about. So they even talked about one incident twice. Okay, they already told you he was arrested 42 times in the past 10 years, but you talked about one incident twice. Okay, about the 67-year-old female. But still, I don't care what happened. I don't care what it did. It deemed him death. Did it? Nope. It didn't deem death, did it? For them, it does. Boy, I tell you, these people, I'm not with these people. I'm trying to see where is the other thing. Oh, boy, I tell you. I don't even want to read anything. I don't want to read anymore. Okay, let me see something. Hold on. Read this, you guys. Read this. Read that. Can y'all see that? Oh, Lord Jesus, get out of here. Look at that. Marine who put Jordan Neely. Oh, Diego. Come on, you guys. Into a deadly chokehold on subway. Intended no harm, lawyer said. Daniel P., 24, has been identified as the man who repeatedly put Neely in a chokehold, according to two police officers, officials familiar with the investigation. He looked like he dead to me there. Does it look like he moving? Is he moving, you guys? Can y'all see that? Is he moving? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to play something.
Past week. Carlos Dominguez today, we learned that a college town in California might soon get answers on a series of deadly stabbings this past week. Police say they arrested Carlos Dominguez.
Hold on. That's not what I wanted. You show one thing and you talk about something else. Okay. So, Marines who, okay, what about it? Let's see. I want to talk about this. This is ridiculous. New York City subway writer accused in the chokehold death of the homeless man is the U.S. Marine veteran who was acting to protect himself and other riders and never intended harm, his lawyer said Friday evening. Daniel P. Penny, 24, has been identified by authorities as a man who allegedly put uh, Jordan Neely in a chokehold following what police said was an altercation Monday on a northbound F train, according to two law enforcement officers. Okay, I don't want. That's not what I want. I want to see something else. hmm Let's see here. Okay, you guys. I think it's just turning. It's not doing what I need to do here. Let's see what. Let's see. I'm just trying to see. Y'all ain't gonna tell me. I don't know. That look like a black guy to me, but I'm just act like it's not. Because I hope and pray it wasn't a black guy that was helping him put him down. Man, I tell you guys, I'm telling you, this is crazy. I am done. I just don't even know what to say. I just don't know what to say. They're gonna always talk about and demonize us. But here you seen the difference in what they had to say about the white boy. I'm coming over here. I'm gonna stop sharing for now. I'm coming back over here. They had so much to say about the white boy, right? Black boy, right? They have Nothing negative to say about Daniel, right? And they had everything to say about Neely. But I'm gonna tell you what, I don't care what happened. If I get on the plane or if I get on a subway and I'm yelling I'm hungry and I'm yelling I'm tired, I'm yelling I'm homeless, does that deem me death? Does that mean that I die? Criminalize the people who get murdered, but don't talk about the actual killers exactly. Have you noticed Candace Owens, aka Candace Owens, hasn't said anything about this? Well, she will. JS Move. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope to leave. I will be back and watch the live stream on. Well, thank you for doing this move. I appreciate you. But we have to understand. I'm so tired of. I'm so sick and tired. I heard Bakari earlier on. Earlier, I heard him talking about the deacons of defense. I think that's a very good idea, and I wish that we would do something like that. We can start purchasing your land. We can start putting your monies together. I'm not. I'm just saying, you guys. I'm not purchasing nothing here in America. I'm just not doing it. I'm not. I wouldn't buy a piece of dirt here. I wouldn't give a piece of dirt away to anybody either. I'm just saying. But this is crazy that stuff like this is happening and we're not doing anything about it. We're not doing anything about it but complaining. It's time for us to do. It's time for us to rise up. It's time for us to do something. Enough is enough. And until you fight back, until you hit back, nothing's going to change. We've been dealing with this for a long time. When are we going to come up with some different results? When are we going to come up with something different to do? When are we going to come up with something different? I mean, I seen the other day, this was so crazy because they actually, it's so hard for me to forget this one. You had a guy, I want to bring up one, I got to bring this up, you guys. Help me, hold on. I got to bring this up. I'm going to try to actually find it, but I'm going to still talk, but I'm going to try to bring it up. Um, Hold on, you guys. I'm gonna try. Um, I'm gonna try. I'm trying to do something, you guys. Cause just bear with me. I'm gonna show you guys something I saw the other day. Um, Man, I had one. I want to show you guys about him. Hold on. I have something. I'm trying to pull up something, you guys. Y'all bear with me a minute. He had one on the other day about this white guy, and he had um shot. He was a serial killer, and he shot like 5 people, 7 people. Right? It was a little girl, 2 little girls, and their parents. Um, his wife, his son, um, and he had a wife and 2 children, and his little girl had 2 other friends that was at the house, and he killed all 7 of them. And the news has not talked much about this one. Um, Man, I can't find it. I cannot find it. Oh man, it was a good one. And Professor Truth had talked about it. I was trying to find it. This is it right here. Okay, y'all bear with me. I want you guys to hear this one. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I want to share. Hold on. I'm gonna come over here and share. I want you guys to see this one more thing, and then I'm gonna be done. This is what I want you Guys, to understand. Hold on. Presentation. Hold on. I'm getting it, y'all. I'm getting it. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna share. And I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna share this. And we're gonna come up here and okay, hold on. Here we go. I want y'all to hear this. Listen to this. Let me know if you can hear it.
He said that it's not, he said it's not no marketable girl. Because like when I clicked in the video, it said it's a
The two girls were last seen at 120 Monday of this week. Just 2 days ago, authorities with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol had issued a missing persons report for two teenage girls. Their names were Ivy Webster, age 14, and Brittany Brewer, age 16. The two girls were last seen at 1:22 a.m. in a little town called Henrietta, which is 50 miles south of Tulsa. The two girls were supposed to have been spending the weekend staying at the house of one of their classmates. The house that they were at belonged to a man named Jesse McFadden. He was their friend's stepfather. When the girls didn't come home on Sunday, the parents alerted the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Jesse McFadden was a registered sex offender. He had been convicted of first-degree rape in 2003. He only got out of prison in 2020. But not surprisingly, McFadden was scheduled to go on trial on Monday to face charges of child pornography and soliciting sexual conduct/communication with a minor. When he didn't show for his trial, the judge issued a bench warrant for his arrest. Their first mistake was letting a guy who had already been convicted of first-degree rape and spent over 15 years in the can out on the streets on bail, but we know about genetic immunity from the law. Now, within hours of issuing that advisory, the authorities would soon find the bodies that very afternoon. The corpses of the two girls, along with McFadden, were found on a large rural property in Henrietta that Jesse McFadden owned. While exploring the crime scene, the police found other bodies. They found McFadden's wife, Holly McFadden, along with her children, Tiffany Guess, Michael Mayo, and Riley Allen, bringing the total death toll to 7. Holly's mother said that there were a number of red flags about Jesse McFadden, especially how controlling he was of his wife and the children, that he kept them under lock and key. The mother said that she had never trusted Jesse McFadden, calling him the ultimate con man. In fact, Holly's father had found information about Jesse McFadden's rape conviction. According to the mother, she said McFadden deceived Holly by telling her a story to explain away the sex offender charges. According to the mother, Jesse had a woman contact Holly claiming that she was the alleged victim and that it was all a mistake and that her parents brought charges against Jesse because they didn't like her being in a sexual relationship with him. After the mass murder was discovered, this female accomplice reached out to Holly's family and confessed that Jesse McFadden had paid her to call Holly and tell her that cover story. What also needs to be mentioned is that the latest charges that Jesse McFadden was about to have to face trial over were filed in 2017, while he was still in prison. You heard that right. This guy got hit with new charges while he was still in prison, serving time for the old ones. The charge was that while he was in prison for first-degree rape, he was also exchanging nude photos and videos with an underage girl. This while he was in prison.
Where did he get the phone from to be able to exchange porn, his body parts, with somebody on the outside? Let's think about that. You can't have a phone in prison, right? But he had a phone. He's in jail. He's sending pictures to a little girl, and he's in jail. Let's listen. Listen to this. Listen. This is what I want y'all to hear. Listen. Almost done, fam.
Prison. Holly's mother said that Jesse claimed the incriminating evidence had been found on another inmate's phone and that he had been falsely blamed for it, but that the charges had been dropped. The white media is now reporting that the underage victim of this 2017 violation has revealed that McFadden sent her a text message the night before the mass murder, which was also the night before he was set to go on trial for soliciting her. The text said, "I did exactly what I promised I would do when I got out. I got a marketing job making great money and was being advanced. Been there 2 years now and made a great life like I promised I would do with you." Then he wrote, "Now it's all gone. I told you I wouldn't go back. This is all on you for continuing this." No. Actually, it's on the racist color-coded injustice system for continuing this. This guy was in prison for first-degree rape. He had been charged with more sex crimes while he was still in prison serving time for the first offense. And then 3 years after these new charges were filed, He was let out of prison anyway. And for the last 3 years, he's been walking about the streets going about his life as if nothing had happened. And they're only just now getting around to putting him on trial? If he had been black, he would have been kept in jail without bond when those alleged messages were found because he had priors and they would have held him there pending the outcome of a verdict. These parole boards let killers and rapists walk not based on evidence or on any so-called expressions of remorse, but based on the color of their skin. And because the Jesse McFaddens of this world know that they can count on the law not applying to them, they just go on and do whatever they want to. By the way, the DA who was supposed to be handling McFadden's latest prosecution is a Republican. And that's important because for the longest time now, the white right media has been talking about what they call woke DAs, people who they say George Soros has funded to put them into office in Democratic cities. Fox News talking about how these woke DAs allow criminals to walk the streets freely and to commit crime after crime while they're out on bail because these woke DAs are soft on crime. We need to get some Republican DAs in there and get some law and order. Well, here you have a Republican prosecutor in a Republican county in a blood red Republican state. And he allowed a convicted rapist to be let out walking the streets even though this guy had already been convicted of rape and he committed a second offense while he was behind bars. You have 6 innocent people murdered, at least 4 of them children, and yet I don't think Fox News is going to be making a big deal about this soft-on-crime prosecutor out there. Well, if the Democrats' DAs should be called woke prosecutors, then I guess we got to start calling these Republican DAs joke prosecutors. Now, the authorities refuse to give any details about this mass killing in Okmulgee. In fact, the authorities are even refusing to say how the victims were killed. They won't even say what the cause of death was. But they don't have to. The family of the victims has spoken out and revealed that they were all shot. This was a mass shooting. But the police refuse to say that it was a mass shooting. And they're not the only ones. The white media is going way out of their way to avoid saying that this was a mass shooting. You look at all the headlines about this story. Not one of them says that it was a mass shooting. In fact, none of them even say that the victims were shot. Instead, you look at these headlines and all it says is that the victims were merely found dead. As if nobody knows what killed them. The white media reports that the bodies were simply found as if they died under mysterious circumstances, or as if the authorities have yet to determine how they died, when the truth is they already know how. And we see it in many other cases too, particularly shootings that take place in the suburbs or in rural areas, places where the population isn't black. It's as if the white media wants to push a narrative that gun crimes only happen in the inner city, certainly not in the suburbs or rural areas. If this mass shooting had happened in the inner city, all of the headlines would read, 7 people found dead of gunshot wounds. But in cases like this, they simply say, found dead. No mention of the gun at all, even though the families of the victims have confirmed that that was the cause of death. This is what you call color-coded coverage. The white media deliberately omitting critical information for the sake of preserving their narrative. When you read the articles, you find the same thing. Most of these stories about this crime make no mention of the fact that this rapist shot his victims to death. There's been a large number of mass shootings in this country this year, and this is another one. Everyone's talking about the one in Texas, and they should, but nobody's talking about this one, not as a mass shooting. But it is a mass shooting, except it's not being called one. So when we talk about the mass shootings that have taken place, this one's not going to be added to the list. It's going to be allowed to fall down the memory hole. This is what you call white media bias. When you see 6 innocent people gunned down by a convicted rapist, and all of the white media refuses to say that it was a shooting, when they mention it in every other case like this, that's how you know that there's a program at work. Now you're probably wondering, why am I making this the subject of today's briefing? Normally something like this wouldn't be mentioned until the crime report. Well, there's 2 reasons. First, racist Bill Maher was talking about black-on-black crime, and he made sure to mention Chicago. He wanted to make a big deal of it, and the white media echoed his racist sentiment. Now, being your black advocate, whenever somebody drags out that old talking point, I always make sure to do a quick check just to see if it's true or not. This last weekend in Chicago, there were 5 people killed in the entire city. 5 people in a city of nearly 3 million people. Now, what's the population of Ocmulgee County, Oklahoma, where this happened? 36,900. But actually, even that's not accurate because this atrocity happened in a specific place called Henrietta, Oklahoma, which happens to be inside of Ocmulgee. And what is Henrietta, Oklahoma's population? 5,630. And the population of the city of Chicago, a little under 2.7 million. So more people were murdered in that little hamlet that nobody had even heard of than in the nation's third largest city. And yet Bill Maher and his other racist pals who claim to be so concerned about black-on-black crime will not mention this at all. Why is he not concerned about white-on-white crime? He says black people should be concerned about black-on-black crime, but Bill Maher's not concerned about white-on-white crime? Most of the mass murders in the U.S. are white-on-white crimes. That's a statistical fact. Bill Maher said that some black celebrities need to go and do some public service announcements and tell black people to stop the violence. Well, he should lead by example. Will Bill Maher or some other zealous celebrity do some PSAs or do a march for peace to protest white-on-white gun violence? Of course not, because he never has and never will. It doesn't fit his anti-black narrative. The black-on-black crime canard is simply nothing more than a racist white supremacist talking point to push the lie that black people are somehow uniquely violent or conspicuously so. But when you look at what's going on in the white community, you find the exact same things going on, just it's never talked about. And as I've shown you with the white media's coverage of this latest massacre, that's by design. And by the way, that also includes YouTube, who has attacked my channel in the past for pointing this out. If you even say white-on-white crime, that's enough for YouTube to strike your channel or for them to try to terminate it altogether. No matter how many mass shootings take place, it's never racially pathologized as white-on-white crime. That's something you're not allowed to say. But there was also another reason that I chose this latest mass killing as the subject of today's briefing. I've mentioned this latest massacre happened in a place called Ocmulgee, Oklahoma. And if that name sounds familiar to my viewers, it should, because you'll probably recall that it was just last October that I posted a crime report about another mass murder that took place in Ocmulgee, Oklahoma. Now, in that instance, you'll recall that the accused is a salvage yard owner who has been charged with quadruple homicide, accused of killing 4 men who were allegedly on his property and then dismembering their bodies and dumping their remains in the river. And just as with Jesse McFadden, this other Ocmulgee accused quadruple murderer also has priors, among which being that he shot a man 10 years ago when that man allegedly came on his property. He was allowed to plead out those charges. So there have been at least 2 particularly heinous mass killings in Ocmulgee County in the last 7 months alone. Something is very rotten in the state of Oklahoma, but it's not something you'll hear Bill Maher, the prejudiced pothead, say a word about, because it doesn't involve black people. Trump talked about American carnage and sending the army into Chicago. Well, Oklahoma's a red state. Shouldn't that state government be asking for all the federal help they can get? Shouldn't they be saying, well, send in the army if that's what it takes? Because clearly they need it. But of course, Trump doesn't care about this. The Republican Party doesn't care about it. Bill Maher doesn't care about it. And neither does Fox News. On a side note, Ocmulgee County is only 50 miles away from Tulsa, where the Tulsa race massacre happened. But this is the reason that you need the black media, because we tell you the things the white media won't. We tell you about all these things long before the white media comes upon a story so big and egregious that they simply are forced to report on it. The white media tries to make you think that they tell you about all the mass shootings that take place in the U.S., but that's a lie. They only report on the ones that occur in public places like a school or a church or a grocery store or a movie theater or wherever else some Aryan with an AR-15 goes to commit their killings. And that's why I do the Friday Crime Report. It's a chronicle of all the crimes the white corporate media doesn't talk about because it would destroy their anti-black narrative. And as we see in this case, these rural rampages happen so often now that they're repeating themselves in the exact same places. Ohio's had more than a few, which I've documented here. Ocmulgee County has had multiple tragedies like this. And the fact that I'm probably one of the very few who's actually going to put that these people were shot to death in the headline and the rest of the white media refuses to, that tells you everything you need to know about the so-called objectivity of the white media. And I've only seen a few websites, a few places that have mentioned that this latest mass murder is the second in 7 months. Most of the white media coverage about this massacre doesn't even mention that a similar incident happened just 7 months ago. Two mass killings in the same place in a little over 6 months? Shouldn't that be headlines everywhere? But it's not. Why don't they care? The reason these mass murders and rural mass slayings keep happening in the same places over and over is because it's forbidden to talk about it. It is the refusal of the white media and racists like Bill Maher to broach this subject that ensures that it's going to go on, out of sight, out of mind. The goal for white supremacists like Bill Maher is to save face, not to save lives. So, while people are willfully allowing bigots to distract them with 5 fatalities out of a city of nearly 3 million, nobody's talking about the loss of 7 lives out of 5,600. Ordinarily, you might call this a crying shame, but in this case, it's a dying shame.
Family, I'm telling you, this, I don't know what these people, but I want to say one thing. I want to end. Lord, this thing. I don't know what's going on with this computer, but I'm just in right here. Um, Wanted to mention, hold on, let me see if I could. I don't know what's going on with this live here. I think it's the internet here. This thing. This is not allowing me to do it. I don't know what's going on. I bet this thing is stuck. Well, anyway, you guys, I think I'm gonna end it right here. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about what was going on, but it's not, for whatever reason, not allowing me to. Um, I don't know what's going on here. Lord, this thing is crazy, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I just played something. I hope you guys saw it. I don't know if you did or not, but I'll try it and see the replay. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more, but I guess we're gonna be done. It's late. It's late for me, you guys. But I want to end on a positive note, and I want us to really talk about. Um, we can end all of this, whatever this rigmarole. We can end all of this anytime we want to. It's up to us to end it. And if we don't do it, it'll never end. If you wait on white supremacy to do it, if you think you can vote your way into it, same bird. Democrats, Republican, I don't care which group you vote for. They vote neither one like you, and it's going to be up to us to save us. Okay. And until we get that in our heads, nothing is going to change. Nothing. We can we can we can hope and pray all we want, and nothing will change if we don't change it. With that said, family, I hope and pray that you got the live. I hope you understood what I was saying. And I think I played something. I'm gonna try to see if it caught in the midst, because I think my connection here is not good. But I'm going to bed. I think we've done enough. I've said enough, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna try to. I don't think I'm gonna be able to come on again tomorrow, but I maybe next weekend. I do have like a bridal shower tomorrow. Okay, but probably next Saturday or probably next Sunday. I'm not gonna say Saturday, next Sunday. Okay. But that said, you guys, I hope and pray that the video I showed with the Professor Truth about the white guy who murdered all seven of his family members. Okay, like seven family. He had like his wife and his two kids and two other little girls. Up to seven people was found dead. So I did play that, and I hope it came. I don't know if it did or not. I'm gonna do a replay, and see if it came up. But I hope you guys. I appreciate you guys staying up with me. I know y'all late birds forecast. I don't know if you still here or not, but I know you guys late birds. Some of y'all, didn't have to work tomorrow. Doesn't have to work tomorrow. And some do. But I appreciate you guys even coming through. Take care, you guys, and we'll do this again next week. Okay. Have a good night. Bye.